And welcome back to Buying the Hobby, Dante. Good to see you, brother. Back in upstate.
Yeah, back in our actual studio. Even though we had a great time in the Gary V conference room studio, but back here in some comfy seats.
Right. A little bit more sleep. We'll get into that whole trip.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a great time. Great time.
But more important news, let's just freaking jump right into it. Yep. Last night, your Sixers.
Yep.
I know it's not what you wanted.
But realistically, it was the best turn for the Sixers.
I think so too.
I think, listen, it was a pipe dream for the Sixers to get that #1 overall pick. I hoped for it. But realistically, I said if we're in the top 3, we are so set.
Yeah.
Sorry to say we. I know people don't like saying we.
No, I love it. I'm I'm not, obviously, I'm not a huge basketball guy, but Nick got me into the NBA this past year. So I've been following a little more. Yep. I'm a eat, breathe, sleep Chargers. I'm part of that freaking team.
Yeah. Oh,
any news, and you're the same way probably. Any news that comes out, I know about it.
Yeah.
Before they know about it.
Oh yeah.
Of course. We're part of the team.
Yeah. Before the media,
I don't care what anybody says. Okay, I'm part of the team.
But yeah, what a fascinating draft lottery.
Yeah, I mean, it was inevitable. I mean, these percentages, 1.8%. I knew it was going to go to the Mavs. It was inevitable.
Oh, right. I mean,
it was a shoo-in.
They had the lowest odds in NBA history.
Is that what it was? Lowest odds ever?
Something like that. They were literally 1.8% chance to get the #1 overall pick, and somehow, some way, after everything that happened this season, the Mavs are getting Cooper Flagg with the #1 overall pick.
It makes sense. It makes it. You want to know what it kind of seems like now? That who's the GM? Nico Harrison might be a genius.
But I know,
because now it kind of makes the trade look good.
Absolutely nothing to do with it too, which is crazy.
I mean, you never know. At this point, he could.
I mean, technically, they didn't tank, but trading Luka dropped them out of really the playoff.
Yeah,
and landed Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That is crazy.
It may work out. In all seriousness, for the Mavs, it makes this whole situation so much weirder. If they were the 2, or if they just weren't the 1, I'd be like, all right, whatever. Now it makes it super sus. This is why I always had a hard time watching the NBA, because now it's just weird. They get rid of their best player out of the blue, caught everybody off guard, and then they tank. They don't do well, and then they get the 1.
What's crazy is they made the play-in too.
Right.
They literally made the play-in. Was a win away from making the playoffs.
Right.
And they got the #1 overall pick.
Yeah. I feel bad. I mean, we were talking before the pod started. I feel bad for teams like the Wizards.
Oh, a team that literally
New Orleans Pelicans, dude.
Build.
Pelicans, dude, that would have been so sick. Him and Zion, I don't know.
They're building 2 Duke guys, too.
I know, yeah.
It's so tough. Literally, 4 through 7 is basically almost the exact order of who should have the #1 overall pick. There's Charlotte, Utah, Washington, New Orleans, and then Brooklyn's 8.
That makes no sense.
5 of those teams are more deserving of the #1 overall pick than Dallas, San Antonio, and I'll be honest, Philly, who had the top 3.
Right, I agree. Now you tell me what you think of this, okay? This is the first year that I've actually understood how the draft works in the NBA. Well, last year I kind of did too, but I understand that the NBA is known for their tanking at the end of the season.
Because I think it's a lot easier.
But it happens in every single sport.
Yep.
I think it should just be merit off of record.
Yeah.
I really do. And there should be stipulation. Is that a word?
Stipulation?
Yeah. There should be a stipulation where you can't play. They have to be within your team during the season.
Yeah.
You at the halfway point.
I
you
get
have
what
to.
You mean.
You know what I mean? 20%. They've had to had played 20% of the games.
Look at Philly's roster.
It's just stupid.
Year, who ended up with the 3rd overall pick. They were playing the most random Joe Schmoes they could find,
and that's BS in my opinion.
If you look at their top, I think 10 contracts on their roster, none of them played the final 20 games.
And I don't like that. I think that's stupid. I think it takes away. I think you never saw. I mean, I don't know. You can attest. Did we see this in the mid 2000s, the 90s? No. Listen,
lottery was different too.
I'm a 2000. Well, technically 90s, late 90s baby. So I don't always defend Michael Jordan. Yeah. I think LeBron's the GOAT, but I'm going to defend them. These guys played every single freaking game.
Yep. The lottery recently got adjusted to when it comes to odds. Here would be my pitch for fixing the NBA lottery.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Taking the first. You could go either first 3 or first 5, and those teams are all locked in to the top 5. But the lottery, there's 2 parts of the lottery. The first lottery would be the first 5, which would be one of those teams should get the number 1 overall pick, and it'll work straight down there. Then after, play the true lottery system, and you fill in 6 through, I think, 16.
I love that.
Where you can get, top 5, who deserves it, Utah, Charlotte, New Orleans. I think technically Philly would be in there too because they were fifth worst, or 5th best odds to get the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
Play the top 5 from there.
I love
it. Because those teams deserve a number 1 overall pick.
I have an idea.
Dallas does not.
Dude, let's make it even spicier, right? We take those, let's say 6. Let's do 6. 6 teams. At the end of the season,
have them play a game.
Have them play a round robin. You take first place, you get the first pick.
Listen, I love it.
You got to win, though. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So you can tank all season long, but if you don't win that loser's bracket,
or
that'd be sick.
Would it be more fitting if it's the worst team?
No, because they're just going to keep tanking. You know what I mean?
You would literally have janitors playing against each other. If
all season long, you rest Zion, you sit him at the beginning of the season, and you wait till the end of the year if you know you're going to have a bet.
Get them fully healthy for that game, and then go full steam ahead.
How funny would that be, though?
It'd be hilarious.
I would watch that.
Joel Embiid would have came back.
Would you not watch that, though, dude?
It'd be electric. Honestly, it'd be more entertaining than the NBA playoffs.
I agree.
It'd be a lot more entertaining.
We figured it out.
We figured out Adam Silver. Hire us.
I'm going to say this. Adam Silver's a loser. I don't like him. I don't like him. I think he's ruined it. I've only known him a year. How about that? I don't like him. I've known Roger Goodell freaking the last 15 years.
I don't mind Adam Silver. I think he's done a lot to fix some issues in the league. At least tried to. Yeah. He's been ahead of the curve on a lot of things, but I don't think the draft lottery is something that they've been able to figure out. I think they figured it out, but realistically they haven't.
No shot.
I think
no shot.
But they haven't.
I think it's got worse. Dude, the fact that the Mavs have had the number 1 pick is just insane. It's just
insane.
As a person that's new into the sport, it blows my mind.
It's the same as last year too.
Like if they were in the NFL, where do you think the Dallas Mavs would be drafting?
They'd be around 12.
That's
honestly probably higher. They probably would have been.
They made the play-in.
15,
14,
15.
14, 15.
Yeah, about 14, 15.
Ridiculous, dude.
About there. Yeah,
makes no sense.
Crazy. The Hawks were the same way last year. Hawks were a play-in team and got the number 1 overall picks. Yeah. This is back-to-back years that
a play-in team. Oh, Zachary
Ricochet.
Yep.
Drafted Ricochet. So I'll go over kind of like a little bit of the draft order. So it goes Dallas 1, San Antonio 2, Philadelphia 3, Charlotte 4, Utah 5, Washington 6, New Orleans 7, Brooklyn 8, Toronto 9, Houston, who gets Phoenix's pick, is at 10, which is great for a team that's in the playoffs. Yeah, and that's an easy pick. Maybe you can trade.
Maybe they can,
which we'll talk about in a minute. But you can easily
get rid of Jalen Green. You know,
could. I've read a lot that they have a lot of faith in him.
I know they do. It sucked to see. We were ripping on him in the chat, like in our live stream. I feel kind of bad for him. Listen, he's a young kid. He got put on the spot.
I'll pitch this for you, and if it happens, remember I said it first. I think if you're the Sixers at 3, I was trying to figure out. I was thinking all morning today. If the Sixers don't use that 3rd overall pick, who is somebody they could trade for? And I kept circling around the Rockets in some way, somehow. And I was like, what about the 3rd overall pick for Jabari Smith from the Rockets? He was out of Auburn a couple years ago. He was the 3rd overall pick as well in that draft class 2 years ago. He's got a lot of raw talent. With Paolo and Chet. Why not let them get a fresh restart? I don't think Jabari really fits in that system right now.
I don't think so either.
Trade 3rd overall pick. Let him take Ace Bailey and let them reset. Give Jabari Smith to Philadelphia. Maybe even get that 10. I do, but I don't think I think the Sixers need somebody that's ready right now.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I do love Ace Bailey. I think Ace Bailey is a stud.
Yeah,
but if Philly were to be able to grab a guy like Jabari Smith who can play now, he can slide into that 4 spot next to Embiid with Paul George at the 3, McCain at the 2, Maxey at the 1. I think that builds a contender, especially if the East is wide open without a Tatum next year.
Well, Joel's got to. I mean, the problem with you guys is the injury situation. Yep. You know, like I don't think he still has it. I think he's. I don't know. I feel like he's got a season.
I think he's got 2 seasons left.
Really?
At full strength.
I hope so.
If he comes back from this knee injury firing and he is playing well, Philly is going to be a team to be.
I agree.
They might be. I think maybe it's me being unrealistic, but I also have seen what they are when at full health. They could be the number 1 overall team in the East.
Yeah.
Without Boston being at the top, if Tatum's out for a significant amount of time,
that was another
thing.
They
can easily slide in that one spot.
While we're shooting, unfortunately, Jason Tatum did go down. It's game 4? We're going into game 5. Knicks out of nowhere. Just absolutely
it's over.
Beating the snot. It's over now.
It's over.
And now from Boston fans, you're going to hear, well, we didn't have Jason Tatum. You had him the whole series.
It was over.
And that's the deepest roster out there. You got to tip your hat to Jalen Brunson. I'm going to say this. Jalen Brunson right now is the best NBA player in the in basketball. How can you argue that, dude? He's putting that team on his back.
I'll argue 1-1 better. But I get it. Anthony Edwards.
I mean, yeah, fair.
Anthony Edwards is playing with some Joe Schmoes.
I understand that. I mean, they've got what's his name there?
Julius Randle has been playing. Yeah, Julius
Randle.
And granted, he has been playing very well, but
I understand. I know. I get it. But
I put them both neck and neck.
They also haven't had staff for
very fair
2-3 games.
He beat the Lakers. He beat Luka.
He did. That was impressive.
He beat Luka
I'll give that.
The Lakers.
Well, let me ask you a question. If they go on to win Minnesota, will that top the 2011 Dallas Mavs run for the best playoff sequence performance of all time?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the best.
If Anthony Edwards makes it to the finals.
And he's got to win, though.
He's got to win. It will be one of the best championship runs the NBA has ever seen.
Will it be better than Dallas, though?
Yes.
I'm going to argue no.
I'll argue yes because of who he's going up against. He went up against Luka and LeBron to start.
Luka
and LeBron.
I get it.
Double L's.
I get it.
Then he goes against. Listen, he didn't get Steph for the whole series. I get it. But he's going against the Warriors. You're still, when you look back, you're not going to look at how many games Steph played in that series. You're going to look back at the Warriors and Steph Curry. Then, whether it's Jokic or Shea, that is another juggernaut to take down. And then you're probably going to play. It's tough because if he would have played Tatum in the finals, I would have said, "Listen, it's not."
I agree with that.
If he's playing the Knicks or the Pacers,
there isn't really any. That's what I'm saying.
But if he were to take down Jalen Brunson in the Garden, Game 7 of the finals, it's no question.
That'd be sick.
Well,
I mean, that's it, dude. That's the combo. We talked about it last week. Like you didn't really see any teams that you wanted. That's a combo that I'd want to see in the finals.
Well, you know what's crazy? Nobody even talks about. We literally realized this on stream last night. It's literally the trade. It's Karl Anthony Towns going up against Timberwolves.
Dude, you're right.
It's Julius Randle going up against the Knicks. You want to talk about who? You want to talk about who wins the trade?
That'd be sick.
There's your answer.
That'll settle.
Whoever wins the finals settles the answer.
This is why I'm gonna say no. Okay. 2011.
I know.
Right? I'm gonna read this off real quick. Who was on that team? You had Dirk,
Sean Marion, Jason Terry, maybe.
Yeah, yep. Jason Terry.
Was Kidd on that team?
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe Battier, maybe.
I don't know. I'll go through the roster in a second, but let me just run this down. You ready? They defeated Portland Trailblazers in 6 games first round.
No Dame.
They had Brandon Roy. That's they had Roy. He was nice though at that point. He was. Right? Then they swept the defending champs, the Lakers, in 4 games. Not gentleman sweep, 4-0. That's Kobe Prime, 2011. Right?
Oh wow.
Then they go to Oklahoma City and gentlemen sweep them in 5 games. You know who was on that team? Russ. KD. James Harden.
The next year,
all in the prime.
Yep.
Then they go to the where do they go here? Then they go to the finals and they beat the Miami Heat with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. I mean, you can't tell me that's Dirk, like kind of. That's juicy.
Listen, no, I know it's one of the best.
You can't tell me that's juicy.
I don't know, dude.
This one might have to go to the comments. We might have to post this one.
I'm literally trying to look up some of these rosters from that Lakers team because Lakers were 57-25 at the point of playing the Mavericks. So
57-25?
Wow, actually, you know that Mavericks team is pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
Dirk, Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Peja Stojakovic, Brendan Haywood, that's what I figured, Jason Terry, JJ Barea.
That's who I was thinking. Different white fella that wasn't.
Who's on the Lakers team? Paul Gasol, Metta World Peace, Kobe Bryant. A prime Andrew Bynum when Andrew Bynum was disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. And they swept them, dude. They swept them. They swept them.
Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know. It's tough.
It's a great argument.
It's a great argument.
You know what I'm saying? You could argue both ways.
Definitely.
We got to see it, though. We got to go see that from Ant-Man. That'd be nasty. Do they have a championship, Minnesota? I think they have one, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
Kevin Garnett never got one with him?
No, because he didn't get one until
Celtics.
Let's see.
Oh,
No.
08? 09?
They've never even been to the NBA Finals.
Damn.
Never been to the NBA Finals.
I mean, that's juicy. I don't think Dallas had either at that point, though. I could be wrong there. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new into basketball.
No, I know. I was just trying to think, like...
I'm getting up on my knowledge. Are you impressed, though? In 1 year, I know all this kind of.
To do that for a franchise would be unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying.
Without really like a...
Would be sick.
Without a dream... I don't want to say dream team, but like a... What was the old word? I'm blanking now because we don't really see it anymore. Super team. He doesn't have a super team at all.
No.
As we kind of wrap up a little bit with the NBA talk, I do want to talk quickly about... because we were talking about different scenarios, like what would you do if you're Dallas?
Yep.
Like with the number one overall pick, is there a chance you would trade it and let somebody else get Cooper Flagg? Hear me out. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. You ready?
Yep.
All right. You call up Rob Pelinka. You said, hey, we made a mistake. Here's the number one overall pick. Give us Luka back. He says, hey, Luka's probably not going to re-sign with us. Let's do it. Brings Luka back. The Mavericks fleeced the Lakers, and they got Anthony Davis for nothing. They got Luka back. Kyrie.
Well, they got Anthony Davis for the number one pick, basically.
Yeah. And you say, hey, let's make the championship run with a true big man, Anthony Davis, Luka, and Kyrie. And then you give LeBron Cooper Flagg, and he's the future of the Lakers, and
I never even thought of that.
The rest is history.
I mean, then, dude, I wouldn't.
Would you take, if you're the Lakers, would you take the number one overall pick for Luka?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I would 1,000% consider it.
Dude, my problem with that, though, I think from like a PR standpoint,
It's awful.
I mean, it just looks so bad.
So bad.
So bad. I personally would not watch the NBA if that's, because then there's no way that happens without it being fixed.
Do you want to hear something crazy that I was looking at last night? So, and this just goes with, the conspiracy that it is maybe fixed, the draft lottery is. So the last time the Lakers traded for a superstar was Anthony Davis. They traded for Anthony Davis. And in that offseason, the Pelicans got the number one overall pick. And they took Zion.
Yep.
6 years later or whatever? They trade for a superstar. And that team gets the number one overall pick. I'll even throw out, not even Lakers, Clippers. Back in probably like 2011, the Clippers made a trade for an all-NBA point guard named Chris Paul. Pelicans, they got the number one overall pick. It was Anthony Davis.
It's all Anthony Davis.
It's all Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis was involved in this last trade.
Exactly. Is Anthony Davis, does he really run the NBA?
Anthony Davis, the brow, runs the gosh darn NBA.
It's just crazy to think about how come all these superstars get traded and that team gets the pick?
Yeah, it's weird.
Is the NBA calling them up? I don't actually believe this, but is the NBA calling them up and like, hey, make this trade. Let's shake things up. We'll give you the number one overall pick.
They could. Honestly, though, they could.
Yeah. How crazy would that be?
Tinfoil hat.
Right. I'll throw this out too. I'll throw out a couple names and you let me know what you think. I'll try to go rapid fire. If you're Dallas, would you trade the number one overall pick for Devin Booker?
No.
Would you trade it for Kevin Durant?
No.
Would you trade it for Giannis?
I would, but I don't think Milwaukee would take just a number one overall pick for him. They would need to throw more in.
Okay.
They don't have anything.
Would you do it for LaMelo Ball?
No.
Okay.
God, no.
I
love LaMelo Ball. I think Cooper Flagg is.
He's that guy.
It depends on the year. Like if you're the Hawks last year, every single one of those names, yeah. Yep. I mean, shout out to what's his name? I didn't even know who he was.
Richie.
Yeah, he's good, but he's not a number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No.
I think. What do you think? Would you take any of those players? Kevin Durant, I'm not. He's a crybaby.
Giannis,
trade him after
Giannis,
a year.
I think I would.
Giannis, I would. 100%.
I don't think Giannis fits in Dallas, but I would try to make it work anyway.
I think Milwaukee values him a lot more, and that kind of brings my next.
Okay,
where
perfect.
do you think?
I did forget about that. Yep.
Where do you think he's going to go? Because I think he is going to leave this offseason.
I think Houston is a perfect spot for Giannis.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I think
and he's rocking 34, dude. Hakeem Olajuwon.
I don't like the San
Antonio.
Antonio.
I love
I
it.
don't. I think it'd be a fascinating. I just don't like the combo of him and Wemby, and I don't know why. I think it's too big.
Yeah.
I think it's too big.
Teams are going to average about 70 points against them. That's it.
It'd be the craziest defensive team maybe we've ever seen, though.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I already think the Spurs, which is crazy to say because he's 7'4", I think the Spurs need a center. So I don't think
a true center.
They need a true center.
Wemby's not a true center.
It's so crazy.
He's a point guard center.
7'4", but he's not a center.
I get it. Yeah.
They need a center where I think just Giannis is, and then what do you do if Giannis is the 3, Wemby at the 4, and you run a center? That's way too big.
Yeah.
Then
you just can't do it.
Crazy. Yeah, you can't do it.
They get ball. Just throw them down there. Just a bunch of big dogs.
Seriously. But I think Houston would be a perfect spot. Because I think you give up Jabari Smith. You could, and then maybe Jalen Green, a couple first-round picks. You take Giannis.
Giannis just runs 4, right? He usually just runs the 4.
Yeah, he runs the 4. Because Brook Lopez has been at that 5 spot for years for the Bucks.
Who's Houston's 5? Alfred Sengun. Yeah.
And like people talk about, could you throw him in a trade? I wouldn't do that.
No, I would keep him. He's a stud.
You have to keep him in an honest deal.
I agree.
And I mean, Milwaukee's going to be in desperate mode. They're going to be in. Game's done for next season.
They're going to be bad. Milwaukee might be bad.
Yeah.
Especially if they get rid of Giannis.
That's why I tank.
They might be tanking. Oh, but it all makes sense. They get Anthony Davis. And he goes to So he's not enough for just the first overall pick. Anthony Davis in the first overall pick for Giannis. Next year, Milwaukee gets the number 1 overall pick. Dude, it all makes sense now. It makes sense. Giannis is going to freaking.
Listen, that'd be something. I just think it's time for Giannis to move on.
Yeah.
Where? I don't know. I don't think the Lakers have enough for him.
You want to know something? Wherever he wants to go. Honestly.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
The Bucks should not trade him anywhere he doesn't want to go.
Agree.
You know where I think would be a fascinating spot for him, and I know they have the assets.
Don't say the Lakers.
No.
Okay.
Nobody is throwing this team out, and I think it'd be a very good fit. Actually, I could throw out 2. I think it'd be a very good fit.
I just thought of one too.
One's Orlando with Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner.
That'd be nasty.
But the other one is Minnesota
with Ant-Man.
I think it'd be a fascinating team. Listen,
Yeah,
they might win it without him.
Damn.
But that would be a fascinating
Randall.
team. You might have to give up Randall. But
You think so?
I don't know, honestly. They have the picks now.
Yeah, that's true.
They can give up whatever they gave up in the Cat trade. And then they actually, now I think about it, they did kind of give up a lot of picks.
You want to talk about like building kind of like a big team? What about the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah, I wonder who they'd have to give up. I just don't know.
True.
They have a very weird roster where like they're good, but like who do you trade?
Isn't it crazy the run that they're on right now?
Yeah.
It kind of blows my mind. That's where like chemistry, I think, comes into play. They don't have any, like, I personally don't really love Halliburton. But they don't have like any superstars on their team. They just play really well together.
And listen, like Halliburton's market went down big time this year because he just couldn't show up in the regular season.
Yeah.
His market really went down. I was literally just on Golden Auctions and I was looking at his Black Prism rookie 1 of 1. And it's at like $20K right now. I think it was like a mint 8 or mint 9.
Yeah, it just went to auction. I saw that.
And I was looking at it. And I was trying to look at some of his old sales and like where he was his rookie year to last year. It slowly went up, went down, and then now it's back up. So like, I'm wondering if he's a guy to invest in right now. Is it because listen, where he is now and where he could be if they make it to the finals, you're gonna see an incline.
I think it's gonna be a quick flip if so.
Oh yeah.
I don't
hold it long term.
I personally, I'm not a huge Halliburton fan. Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna end up beefing it. He's had a good stretch. Yeah. I mean, he had 2 buzzer beaters back to back. What the hell?
It's crazy. What the hell?
He's
good, man.
He is good. I mean, he's decent.
He needs to be consistent.
He does.
He really needs to be consistent. And there's not many other guys really to invest in on the Pacers because I wouldn't really invest in like Pascal Siakam.
I love
Pascal, but I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. I think he's their best player. Is that crazy?
He is.
Yeah.
But Halliburton is the glue.
I get it. Yeah.
He's their everything, but Pascal Siakam, yeah. I will bring up because we did talk a little bit about the Warriors in terms of Curry being out. I think that's been tough for that.
I feel bad.
If Curry comes back for their next game or in the series, can they come back?
I think it's too late.
I think it is too.
And his injury, how serious do you think this is? Because I didn't know how old he was.
He's getting older, yeah.
He's like 34, 35 maybe?
40.
I know. So do you think that this could hinder like the rest of his career? I know it's kind of early to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's got 4 years left in him, and then he's out.
Has LeBron ever had any serious injuries ever? Not really.
Not like serious, but he's out for like a season, yeah.
Right.
But he's had something that's put him out for a couple months, definitely. I remember early on in his Lakers career, he had a couple injuries that put him out for a decent amount of time, but he was back, and
I hope not. I love Steph. I hope he comes back strong, you know, but I think it's too late. I think that, like you said, I think Minnesota's just on a tear right now.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
speaking of Minnesota, let's jump over to the football side.
Oh, here we go.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Everything in front of him with Minnesota Vikings, that offense is disgusting.
Silver platter, Dante.
Silver platter.
That's what you got for JJ right now.
Yeah. Is he a hold or is he a sell? Or buy, I guess, too.
I think he's a great hold in the buy right now.
His market isn't crazy high, but it's checked back up.
Yeah, I would say I'm going to put the quarterbacks in order.
In terms of the rookies from last year?
Yeah, where I would invest in.
Mm-hmm.
Number one would be Michael Penix. Crappy division. He's going to take that team over. They've gotten better this offseason.
Okay.
I'm taking the Falcons. They could win it. I think the Bucs are still are, you know, large and in charge. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Chris Godwin getting older, Mike Evans getting older, Baker, I love you.
They got him weapons in the draft, too.
They did. They got a great receiver in the draft, but I still kind of like the Falcons. I think they can sneak in there in the NFC. Then I'm probably going to go Jaden Daniels. I mean, pretty inevitable. Yeah. They just got Debo, too. I think they can make a run. I know everybody loves the Eagles, and I can see. I have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, but I do not have them winning the division. Is that crazy? I think Washington wins the division this year. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl, going to the wild card. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go J.J. McCarthy. He has a silver platter in front of him. I mean, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, great offensive line. They picked up Willie Fries, I think, from the from the Colts. I think that's his name. Something Fries. Yep. French, maybe?
Freeze. Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
French fries.
I got you.
Yeah, they just got better this offseason.
They did. The offensive line is disgusting.
The only thing that's scary is the division. I mean, that's a gauntlet.
But people said that last year.
They did.
And the Vikings with
they did.
Sam
Darnold
was 1 win away from the division.
Love that. You're right. You're right. And I agree. I think the Lions aren't going to be as good. I think the Lions take third.
They're going to take a step back.
Yeah. I think
I really think
do you want my list for the NFC North?
Yeah, before I actually you go.
Fourth. Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm very much with you on that.
Third, Detroit Lions.
You can put the Bears first. All right, keep going.
I'm putting the Bears first. Why?
I don't think they have the roster to do it. I think they have a great offense.
I didn't mention Caleb Williams in that draft. I think Caleb Williams is the number one person to invest in.
Listen, I'm a big Caleb Williams supporter. I don't know why people hate on him so much. He had great stats last year. People don't realize how close his stats were.
His team sucked. His team was garbage.
Their defense is really bad.
Oh, yeah, and their offense wasn't better. Like, honestly,
their offensive line was
DJ
really
Moore
bad.
was supposed to be all this. He sucked. He was trash.
The Vikings and the Bears built two of the best offensive lines in football this offseason.
I agree.
Built two of the best offensive lines in football.
That's what I'm saying. I think you two are going to duke it out. So you can't call me crazy for thinking the Bears are going to win that division. How is that crazy? How is that crazy?
I just don't.
Your guys' secondary is garbage.
You want to hear my honest
It's trash.
opinion?
You have Harrison Smith still playing for you. Harrison Smith is 150 years old.
He's good.
He was good in 2009. He's not good now.
I tell you what, though. I think Ben Johnson's going to shock a lot of people in a bad way.
Really? You think so? You think he was kind of carried with that? I mean, that Lions team was good. That was a nasty team.
I think people are going to realize maybe Ben Johnson wasn't worth the hype.
So I'm going to say this. I still think I'm going to go Bears, Vikings, Lions, Green Bay. I think that the Lions still have the best roster in that division. But this is the problem.
Yeah, their defense is good.
Right. And their offense, dude.
Yeah.
They have a great offense.
Some guys, but still solid.
They had the best offensive line last year in the NFL.
Yeah.
You had Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery running like crazy. You have Amon-Ra out in the slot.
Jameson progressing to Williams.
Jameson Williams. You had, honestly, was it Josh Reynolds? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He had a great season last year. Like, they were a very, very good team, very aggressive team, and that's where it bites them. My problem with the Lions, like, moving forward, is that now they're trying to take the Eagles' role of having all this pressure on them when they've had 2 good seasons in the last 60 years. And with all this pressure, I think they're a very emotional team. I mean, we see that in Dan Campbell, very emotional. We saw that when Jamal Williams was talking against Green Bay, right? Knocking them out of the playoffs. They're a very emotional team, which I freaking love. Love the emotion. But that can come back to bite you in the ass, especially in a sport like especially in a sport like football. If they weren't putting as much pressure on them, I think they'd be fine and still win the division next year. But they do. They put so much pressure on themselves. I don't think that they can handle it.
And I'll tell you what, because I love that you put the Packers last, man.
I don't think that the Packers, and I don't think the Packers are even going to be that bad. I just think that division's.
I don't think they're going to be that good. Honestly.
Really?
I think their defense is not good.
Yeah.
I don't think their offensive line is good at all.
Well, they went and drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
Like the first time.
And don't get me wrong, I love Golden. I think he's a stud.
He's
but like,
very good.
But like, you have 8 receivers: Dante Wicks, Christian Watson. Who else do they got there? Jalen Reed. They have another one, Romeo Doubs. You have Luke Musgrave. You have Tucker Kraft. You have 100 different targets. Why are we not addressing the problems
they need offensive line?
Right.
Their offensive line hasn't been good in
or defensive line. I mean, Rashawn Gary's not getting any
They traded
younger.
Preston Smith to Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah.
Like, they lost a lot of guys. And Jair Alexander isn't that guy anymore.
And he might leave too still. Isn't that the rumor that Jair Alexander might still be leaving?
They've been talking about, like, releasing him too for, like, years.
Really?
So he could be released. He could be traded.
It's interesting.
I know I'm in the minority here. I don't think Jordan Love is that guy.
I agree.
I really don't think Jordan Love is that guy.
I think he's very talented.
He's decent. I think he's solid, but I don't think he's an MVP caliber quarterback. I don't think he's like a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Mentally, I just don't think he's there. Physically, I think physically he's better than Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Physically. But his mentally holds him back so much. So is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is, but he's not that guy. I agree.
I've never thought he was that guy.
On that same topic, Nick and I talk about it all the time. Who would you rather have starting? Really? That's crazy. That blows
100%. I'd rather go Daniel.
That's nuts.
I think Daniel. Oh man, I don't think AR is that guy. I don't think he's that guy either. I don't think he should have been drafted 4 overall. At like even close, I don't think.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He was hurt most of his year.
Dude barely played in college.
Yeah.
People forget. People always talk about like certain quarterbacks and like how much they played in college or like their experience before the NFL. But then nobody ever brings up AR, the fact that he played 1 season.
Yeah.
Really, like truly played 1 season.
I think only like 8 games too. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he's that guy. Season. I think he's very athletic. But I don't think he's the guy you want as your captain leading. It showed this year when he tapped out of a game, a very close game.
That was crazy to me.
Don't know how I feel.
That didn't make any sense.
Nope.
Yeah, that would rub me the wrong way.
Listen, I wish we had this pod back when that happened.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Like,
lay into him.
It was everything I thought was AR. I just have. Did I think Minnesota would have been a good fit for him? Yeah. But
Minnesota's a good fit for everybody, aren't they?
But do I think AR is that guy? No.
Do you remember in this past year's draft or 2 years ago when we first got Jim Harbaugh and there were murmurs of the Chargers getting
Listen, I think it still
could you imagine though how crazy I'd be clapping with you,
Vikings would win Super Bowl.
I will not. I'll go down on if Justin Herbert ever gets traded, dude. I'm jumping ship.
I think it would literally if Justin Herbert were to get
traded,
we
wouldn't lose a game.
It would be to Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
it would literally be the JJ to him,
dude. I'm such a Justin Herbert fanboy. If he went to the Vikings, they wouldn't lose a game ever.
Herbert in Minnesota would be crazy.
Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. With freaking big brain, your boy at head coaching.
Kevin O'Connell.
It's over in the NFC. I'm sorry, it's over.
And dude, I've been pushing for that for years. I've always.
It's never going to happen. I mean.
Never say never. Listen, never say never.
But in all seriousness, I like JJ McCarthy. I think he's going to do fine. I think he's a good buy right now. that division scares me, and he needs to win the division in order for those cards to go up. He needs to have a ridiculous season this year. Yep. And his inexperience of play, you want to talk about a guy that, yes, he did play, but he handed the ball off 80% of the snaps that he took in Michigan. That scares me.
I think he's going to shock a lot of people.
I hope so.
In the best way possible.
I hope so.
Just because of what I saw in the preseason last year, and it's such a small sample size. I think
he did look great in that game.
People don't give him enough credit for his arm. I think he does have a very good arm.
I think so too.
He also doesn't need an arm. I watched Sam Darnold this year, who he's very smart, precise, but he doesn't have like a cannon. All you gotta do is hit Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, you're gone.
Right.
He's also got Aaron Jones. He's gonna have Jordan Mason too in the backfield.
I saw you guys picked him up.
Insane offensive line. He don't need that. All that dude's got to do is just dump pass.
Do your thing. Do what you've done in college, and he'll be fine.
Yep.
He's a great game manager. This is, again, referring back to 2 episodes. This is why I hate talking about system quarterbacks.
Yep.
Go win. Dude. Go freaking win, okay?
You know what addition I actually love, too, that nobody talks about? I don't think it's a massive addition, but I do think it's a very sneaky addition for the Vikings. Vikings got Rondell Moore. They added Rondell Moore in the offseason.
Wide receiver? Who's from Arizona?
Who's a perfect wide receiver 3 for them.
Little fella.
Yep.
Yeah, he's quick.
Who can be a speed. I mean, listen, he's not going to put up insane stats, but Vikings also didn't have a wide receiver 3 last year.
Yeah. Osborne? No, he wasn't there anymore.
It was just a mix of
JJ Osborne wasn't there?
No, he was with the Patriots. There's Naylor, Justin Jackson.
Naylor was decent.
He was decent. There were a bunch of just random guys in that 3 spot. Powell. But they never really had a true 3. Rondell Moore's a perfect guy.
That's
perfect guy for that.
I love it.
So moving on to New Orleans, and we'll talk about this real quick, is the Spencer Rattler hype. Do you invest in Rattler? Because
no.
It's crazy because I think 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 episodes ago, I said invest in Rattler. I changed my mind.
After he got the starting spot? I don't think he's going to be starting.
I don't think he's going to be starting.
No, I think it's going to be...
I think it's going to be Tyler Schaaf.
Schaaf.
And I think he's good, dude. I get he's old. Dude's 26.
He's older than Derek Carr. Derek Carr just retired.
I get.
Shout out Derek. Give a patty clap to Derek Carr.
Yeah. Listen, I was always a fan of Derek Carr.
I wasn't.
He's your emo quarterback.
And he sucked.
Can I say that?
He's a what?
I said emo quarterback.
Yeah. Well, he wears eyeshadow.
Yeah, literally. Okay.
He sucked, dude. He was trash.
I know. I always rooted for Derek Carr. I think he never had an issue. He never created controversy.
I didn't mind him until he went to New Orleans, and he was all blamed everything on everybody else. Never took any criticism. Nothing. Am I wrong?
I mean,
he was supposed to be their Lord and Savior,
and he started off very good.
Yeah,
last year too.
Yeah,
he really fell off.
He had 500 yards in the first 2 games.
Is this guy about to win MVP?
Yeah,
he was cooking. But do you think Spencer Rattler starts? Do you think you should invest in him?
I don't.
I don't either. Not anymore.
I just think the Saints are going to be awful.
They're going for Arch.
Yeah.
But the thing is, do you want to draft a quarterback after just taking one in the second round? I don't know. Is that where your mindset's at? I think Tyler Schaaf's decent. I think he's solid. He'll be a Chase next year, I think.
Oh, yeah, he'll be I think he will be a starter. I really do.
Agree.
I really do. I'm staying away. I'll probably stay away from Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
I'd probably sell his stuff right now. Another person I'd sell right now, kind of in that same repertoire, is Joe Milton. Dude, his cards have gone up so much. I feel like I saw his Nebula sold for $20,000. I was
really?
He's not even the starter. He's not even close to the starter.
Kind of along that same exact trend of quarterbacks is, what do you do with Jordan Travis cards? What do you do?
You recycle them.
It's so unfortunate.
It is unfortunate
that he can't. That
he was so much fun to watch
so
at Florida State, dude.
What do you do with a guy like that? I don't think he's gonna come back.
He'll never come back.
But
you recycle him.
I know.
You give them to the kids.
Damn, that's so sad.
It is.
That's so tough.
I almost graded one of his silver. I pulled one of his silver autos, and I almost graded it. I'm glad I didn't. Save myself $20.
Dang.
Yeah. Poor kid. I said, it's an unfortunate event. If he didn't snap his leg, dude, I think he would have been.
Yep.
I love Jordan Travis at Florida State. But
listen, I tell you what, too. You want to talk about somebody to invest in with the keys in his hand and everything in front of him? Justin Fields.
Yes.
He's got no competition.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is have a half-decent season.
His market's not even that bad.
It's not at all.
It's not. I thought it was going to skyrocket when he got traded to the Jets.
I agree.
I mean, it's gone up for sure.
A little bit.
But I mean,
it's not where it could be.
No. You want to know who? Like, I know we talked about this last time. So Trevor Lawrence, take a guess at what his like true RPA sells for, like raw.
Out of what?
National Treasures.
I guess obviously it depends on what it's numbered. Well,
99. True RPA 99. 3-color patch.
I feel like it's gonna be low at like 1,500, 1,200.
$3,000.
Oh wow, okay.
Which is still super low in comparison to like other players.
100%,
You know what I mean?
I looked at the quarterback market in Natty T, so I wasn't sure like where he'd be at.
Yeah, no, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what Justin Fields' true RPA. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I think he's an easy. It's Justin Fields is somebody you can invest in while also not taking a huge risk,
Right?
Because his cards don't sell for that much. Because Fields, I mean, he's gonna have Garrett Wilson. He's going to have Breece Hall in the backfield. They just don't really have many other weapons because they don't have Devontae Adams anymore.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Dude, like his true RPA. I see 1 to 25.
Are you looking at the immaculate one?
No.
I'm looking at an immaculate one that just sold for $300. A true RPA gold to 25 out of immaculate.
I see an NT one here. February 7th. Well, so when did he get traded?
Dude, am I about to invest? Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
bro.
Dude, it's hollow to 25.
His market is so low.
Hollow to 20. I might buy. If I find one of these.
$64 RPA. I mean, it's an what even product?
Either way.
Yeah, his market is low.
Hollow silver to 25. BGS 8.5, 10 on the auto. Best offer accepted April 27th of 2025. $1,500.
Yep.
3-color patch. That makes no sense.
Very interesting. I'm looking at a lot of rookie
and
RPAs
I think the Jets are going to be decent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I think they take second in the division. Don't tell Nick I said that.
I think Dolphins do.
What did the Dolphins do this offseason to get better?
I mean, not much.
Nothing.
But if you get a healthy Tua and Tyreek's still there, I think they have a chance.
The chemistry in that room is
definitely
bad.
But
it's bad.
Devon Achan's solid too.
Devon Achan's great, but like they drafted an offensive line. I don't know. I just don't think that team got any better.
This will be my last one. True RPA. Oh my gosh. Well, now here's a tie-dye one. Tie-dye RPA.
Out of select?
Out of select. $200.
Crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I understand like select.
Who would you rather invest in,
going.
Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence? Ooh. In that 21 class?
Probably Trevor Lawrence.
Really?
Probably.
At these prices, though,
because
like it kind of makes sense.
Here's why I'd say Trevor Lawrence is because Fields is technically on his like third try, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he had his chance in Chicago. He didn't get necessarily a fair chance in Pittsburgh.
He kind of did well in Pittsburgh,
right? So I guess because Trevor Lawrence can play for 15 more years. Fields, I don't know how many chances he's gonna get.
Right.
So I don't know. So let's move on. Let's talk about last week.
Speaking of the Jets, freaking Gary V, dude.
Yeah, we had an eventful week. We got to go to, we went to New York City. Got to do our episode with Gary V. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, go and watch that. We talked about his new product with V Friends.
Sick. Dude, so sick.
Have you had a chance to watch streams with it now?
I haven't. It's been a super busy week for me. I haven't had a chance, but I plan on it.
You got home from New York City and just work.
Yeah, I was dead. That was a long day. I bet you were dead.
It was a long day. Oh, I crashed out all Thursday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was knocked out. I was tired.
Oh yeah, you were off that next day, right?
It was all worth it though.
It was, dude. It was worth it. So worth it. I mean, if Gary's watching this, Gary, we appreciate you. That was an absolute blast. They took us on the tour around the building too. What an incredible view.
Yeah.
That was insane. They were showing us like look over the edge. Take a look, because they were up there. I mean, they're like 100th floor. Or no, maybe not.
I don't know. Is 25th floor?
25th floor? I don't know. I don't have any perception of that. I don't like heights. If anybody wants to know, I hate freaking heights. And they're like, yeah, look at that over there. And I'm like, about to throw up.
Yeah, I couldn't look down.
No, screw that.
Down. That gets me. That gets the pit in your stomach.
Same, dude.
It's like, you ever go on the pirate ship at like New York State Fair or something? It's on your way down. You feel that pit in your stomach. Oh,
I don't do rides.
That's the feeling.
Anything that stays on the ground. I've never been on a roller coaster before.
Really?
I never will.
Oh, have you ever been to Darien Lake?
I have, but I water park.
I water park it. Guy.
Yep. I'm not much of an amusement park kind of person. I'll be honest. I'd rather just go to the beach or something like that. You know.
Well, there's a perfect content idea. Getting Connor.
I won't.
At an amusement park.
I won't go on anything.
Him up with a GoPro.
Listen, I'll go on anything that's like close on the ground.
Yeah.
But I'm not going in the air. I'm not doing anything that goes up.
I get it.
I mean, you saw me on the flight. We took so we flew in to Jersey, 45-minute flight, and I always feel like I'm gonna die. I can't do it. Yeah. I'm going to Vegas to play in the WSOP, and I've got to fly there. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. Like Josh is flying with me, and I was like, well, he wasn't going to because he lives in Jersey. Mm-hmm. I told him, I was like, you need to fly into Rochester, and we're flying from there or else I'm not going. I can't do it by myself. I'm looking back at Dante every 30 seconds. He's sitting behind him. I'm like, oh my God.
I kept seeing Connor trying to connect his headphones to the TV screen.
I was watching. Some kid in front of me was watching Freaky Friday, and I was like, I gotta watch it. Or no, crap. What is it with Ice Cube? What's it called? Nope. Ice Cube. Something Friday. Not Friday.
Oh, you're talking about.
Friday.
Yeah.
Bang. It's just Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn. So, yeah. Kid in front of me was watching.
But it was a great trip. Got to see everything that... Gary V's release day, I mean, I don't know how that man kept moving.
He was on the tightest schedule I've ever seen in my life.
30 minutes for everything all day.
He's a beast.
Interview to ripping to another Whatnot stream to our podcast.
And it was funny because, like, I obviously had anxiety, like, building up to the flight. So I didn't sleep the night before. He was on live until, like, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yep. And then woke up at 6, I think, to be on, like, Good Morning Football or whatever.
Nuts. Man's a freaking machine.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Credit. Yeah, we got to talk. It was awesome to be able to hear more about the product. Got me really excited. Hopefully got other people really excited. We actually got to rip a full case of E-Friends last night.
I saw that.
We ended up hitting an Erupt.
Did you?
Which was pretty cool. And I was like, well, Gary Vee was just typing that up.
We ripped a couple of packs there and killed it on those blasters, dude. Yep. Buy the blasters. I think the blasters have the best value.
Might be juiced.
They were juiced. We smacked out of them.
We hit 2 big cards. One was to 25. One was to 75. Mm-hmm. Good hits.
It was sick.
Hits. And then, so after Gary Vee, so basically, we set up which turned into a day, with Tommy DeVito, Giants quarterback.
Well, you went. I went to PSA, fell asleep.
Yeah, you went to take a nap. And basically, so how this story begins, when we opened up Flawless on Jams, funny enough, back in November when we were ripping Flawless, we hit a Tommy DeVito Shield Auto, obviously 1-1. And I texted Tommy DeVito that night.
You already had a relationship with him, ironically. Yep. So it kind of like worked out as it is.
So my relationship dates back to, technically, I met him a couple times at Syracuse, but he didn't know who I was. He was Tommy DeVito.
He was a top dog.
3 or 4-star quarterback.
Right.
Out of high school. I think maybe 4. And so when I went to Illinois to work as a sports director on television, he was the Illini starting quarterback.
Yep.
And so I got to interview him a bunch of times. I did one-on-one interviews, and then I just got in contact and got his number and whatnot, and we stayed in touch over the years, which is 2 years now. But yeah, and then this came up where we hit his 1-on-1 Shield, and I was like, I'm just gonna send it to him. I doubt he collects or cares, but I'm gonna send it to him. Maybe he'll answer me. And so I texted him, sent it, and he woke up in the morning. It was like 4 a.m. Buzzed me. I woke up too, which is crazy. And he was like, I need that. All caps. I need that. How can we make it happen? Get me in touch with the person. Let's do this. And November to, what is it now, May?
Yeah.
Basically, we finished negotiations in like April to get the owner, because the owner was totally willing, the guy that hit in our brakes.
Right.
He wanted to figure out a way to just get that to DeVito. It was just a question of how it happened. And then things just kind of like slowed down and lost touch for like 2 months. And then we finally finished it in like April, and we were like, we need to get this to Tommy. How can we do it? How can we make it happen? Shout out to our team for allowing it to happen. So we brought it to Tommy in New York City. We met, actually it was technically Jersey, but we met at a sub shop and were able to give it to him. And it was really cool. He was pumped. It's what he'd been wanting. He's trying to collect some of his 1-on-1 cards.
Right.
And that was one of them, probably his biggest one in his collection.
Oh, 100%.
That'll be one of his biggest of his rookie year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So to be able to get that and we were just sitting at the sub shop, eating our subs. I had to get a chicken parm sub because I was with Tommy DeVito.
You could not.
I could not.
You got to be a cool guy.
He actually got a steak sub, but he didn't get it with the bread,
What?
Yeah, he didn't get it with the bread.
What do you mean?
Am I outing him?
No, but how does that work?
He just
got steak?
Got the Philly cheesesteak.
He's like, just put it in my hand.
Basically, yeah. He got Philly cheesesteak without the sub.
That's respect. So just steak.
It's the carbs, I guess.
No, yeah. I understand the whole situation, but like,
I know.
What, he just eat it with a fork?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I respected it.
Heck yeah.
I will slightly go away too for a second. It was really cool. We were just sitting there and this dad and son pulled up and I think he was like a roofer and the son was like, is that Tommy? I literally heard like, is that Tommy DeVito? And he came up and he was like, Tommy, like I'm a huge Giants fan.
How you doing?
And whatever. And this kid's smile stayed there for maybe 3 minutes straight.
That's awesome.
And
I love it.
I don't know how, I'm sure like Tommy loved it. And like, I'm sure it's like every day he's so used to it. But that kid, you want to talk about making his year, making his life, like that's something he'll tell. Probably told everybody at school the next day. So that was special to see that.
That's awesome.
So basically we were sitting there and we were just talking about PSA and we were like, hey, like, I think he was like, why are you guys here? And we were like, well, we did podcast with Gary V, and then after this, we're going to.
Well, yeah, our baseball team was already there for Bowman release.
Yep.
So they were at PSA grading.
And I was like, we're going to PSA after. I'm going to take a nap because I need one. And he was like, what's I'm not sure how much he knew about PSA, but I was like, listen, they grade it. We ended up going to PSA, and we brought Tommy with us, and basically we got it graded. He went on stream with baseball for a couple minutes.
Yep.
And they got to hang out with him, interact, and then we waited and basically just talked shop.
It was fun,
for
dude.
2 hours. Just sitting on the ground, talking shop, talking about football.
Who was it? It was me, you, Tommy, Josh, and Noah.
And Sam.
And Sam. She was there in between. She's not happy with me now.
No.
I'm just saying, we were just
talking shop for 2 hours.
Just random stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool to see that side of a player. You know what 100%. I'm saying? Especially of like his like caliber.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing that's cool is like he wasn't guarded in a way, like when it comes to like things. I'm not gonna say he like told us all the deepest, darkest secrets of the NFL, but just like where he was like he wasn't very like very PR, I guess. Like
he was so
where you could just talk to him about ball. He was like we were talking about other teams too, and he was like, yeah, like I like this, I like that. Maybe I don't like this. And he was just honest. He didn't give you that PR answer because obviously we weren't just rolling the cameras. We were just talking.
Yeah.
Literally sitting on the ground, laying on the ground for half the time.
I know.
Waiting for the card to get graded. Sorry, Tommy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I already apologize. But it was hot. That was a really cool experience.
It was.
It was. To be able to sit there.
That was the first time I've ever actually just like kind of hung out with a professional athlete. Obviously in that type of situation, I don't think I'll ever have that experience again, specifically. But like just to shoot the crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was something like just for my relationship, like something I won't forget.
I agree.
Just because I don't know how many more of those I'll get with NFL players, like you said, like you don't know when that'll come again. Like we're not celebrity. You mean you are, but like
stop.
We're not celebrity. And it was like cool. I thought honestly, like I was telling actually my parents about this because I thought this was really cool. The fact that our worlds collided. Tommy basically, I won't like go into detail or whatever, but like Tommy called one of his friends and Connor looks at the phone and he goes, I know this guy.
Yeah, it was my buddy. My buddy BK. Shout out BK.
Like that was crazy. We were like, how did these worlds just collide? Right? Where like an NFL quarterback is good friends with somebody that Connor knows well. And then we're like, what the heck?
Isn't that nuts?
So that was really cool. It was just an overall amazing experience.
That was awesome. The whole New York City experience, it was good. I was honestly like, man, this is my one day off. Like I don't want to fly down there.
I literally meant to text you.
I'm honestly glad we did it.
Okay,
I had an absolute blast. I wouldn't change anything.
Good, I'm happy. Well, perfect. I mean, we don't have any community questions this week.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys hate us.
So
it's fine. One last thing I did want to talk about. There was a clip that came out of Antonio Brown.
I did see
against
that.
Shiloh.
Yeah.
I thought that was current. That was in 2019. I was like, dude, Antonio Brown has got it still. He could go out there and be the number one receiver in the NFL. That was in 2019. I was like, why are we posting this now? Mm-hmm. Like, I kind of feel bad for Shiloh. Also, Shedeur Sanders getting all the PR news with the Browns training camp right now. What are your thoughts on that real quick?
I don't like how they're already like, oh, Shiloh's not Shiloh, like Shador's making an impact.
You knew it was going to happen.
And it's like, bro, you guys are literally in OTAs. They're throwing like 5 passes.
Right. 2 rookies.
Nobody's playing defense on them.
Right.
Like, come on.
This is why it's got nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders. It's the publicity behind him why a lot of teams, I think, passed on him. And I just don't think he was that good of a quarterback. Yeah. That's where I'm going to leave off. Okay? I've got nothing against. I hope Shedeur Sanders goes out there and balls.
I like Gabriel better.
I don't.
I mean, I like Pickett better than all of them, but
what?
He should be the starting quarterback.
I want Joe Flacco in that.
Yeah, give me Joe Flacco.
Give me Big Joe.
Fate of the universe on the line.
That's all I had. Though. You got any other off the scoop stuff?
All right, so I will bring this up too because I just remembered PSA did just add back minimum grades to their slabs, which they went away with during COVID. Just about 4 years ago, they removed this option. Basically, what it is let's just say this is such a big card, you don't want this to go below an 8. You're like, it's not worth me getting it graded. If it's anything below an 8, I'll take an 8, 9, 10. If not, authenticate it, slab it up, but don't put a grade on it.
Right.
What are your thoughts? I want to get your opinion on it. And
yeah,
if it's good, if it's bad, what kind of your thoughts?
I think it's good. I want to look a little more in depth, like how they're still charging. Like if I say no, I don't want it to be graded. This, are they still going to charge me full cost? Because at that point, then who cares?
Probably, right?
I think so too. You know, so I gotta look a little more in depth, and then I'll give you more info on it. I don't know what are well. Let me see this. Article.
I think it's a good thing because there's cards I've sent in where I'm like, if anything, I'd rather sell it raw than get a 7, or depending on the card, an 8. Like if it's a thick like National Treasure flawless card, I'll settle for an 8. A 7, probably not, but maybe. But if it's like a Prism or Select, depending on the card, for me, if it's lower than a 9, I don't care for it.
That's my. You know, it's funny that you say that. I just graded a True Blue first Bowman of Nick Kurtz, and it got an 8.
Okay.
I wish I would have known this min grade. It wasn't out. I think it just came out. Like, what was it this week?
Tough.
It's tough because like,
there are cards that I would take an 8 on that are like thin, Prism, Select, along that line. But do I want less than a 9?
Yeah, I don't. Like, I'm gonna crack that out and just send it to BGS.
Yep.
Or I might just sell it raw. I don't know.
I guess it depends too what the auto gets. Yeah. If you grade it with an auto, if that's
the auto is a 10.
See, now that I think changes it.
You think it's fine? 8 and 8-10?
I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. I think it depends on the player.
I like the min grade though. I like it. I think it's gonna be really nice for good vintage stuff. I don't know why they ever went away with it in the first place. I thought it was a great thing because I remember they used to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I like
so many submissions during COVID. It created a backlog.
Makes sense.
The PSA president Ryan Hodge.
Oh, duh. Yeah, duh.
Said minimum grades went away about 4 years ago during the peak of COVID-19 era. Backlog because it adds a complication to the grading process.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm glad they brought it back.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because I feel like they've been a little backlogged recently. It's just going to add to that.
Good.
And really backlog it back to like, well, I wouldn't say COVID, like what happened during COVID.
Yep. And they did say recently they are working on expanding, which would be great when it comes to need more graders.
Right.
Need more.
Well, I'll be honest. Like people say that they've been a little backlogged. I mean, I just got my grades back yesterday, and I submitted that 3-4 weeks ago.
Oh, really? So that's perfect.
Yeah, I did pay up from bulk, just one level from bulk. So whatever that is,
it goes up to like $24.99 a card.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, $25 a card or something.
That's not bad.
Know. Yeah, so
especially depending on the card. Like, if it's like if I know it's like a $60 card, but I want to get it graded, I'm not gonna go up. But if it's like a $400 card that I can really boost up with a grade,
right. Yeah. I just wanted my stuff before the national.
That's fair.
I've got another. I need another submission, and I think I might have to pay.
That's fair.
Up even more because I just want it before the national.
I've been stacking on my kitchen table for like months now. Just every single card I want to get graded.
Yeah.
Every single card I want to get
graded. And are you gonna try and get it before the nat? Oh well, I don't know if you're gonna.
I got my ways. I'll make it happen.
He'll finagle his way in there.
I'll tell you some ways.
He'll crawl space.
I'll tell you some ways after. I got to keep some secrets to myself.
That's fair.
I'll tell you some secrets.
I like it.
But yeah. So I mean that. Unless you got anything else, that'll wrap up another episode. Buying the hobby.
Heck yeah.
We're in May. It's my birthday week.
Yes.
By the way.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. It's my birthday week.
25?
I'm turning 25.
25.
I'm getting old.
Old
Connor.
man.
I'm getting old.
I miss those days. 25.
Right.
I just turned 27. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting old.
fair.
But no, that'll wrap it up here. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on all podcast streaming platforms. You can stream us there. Follow us on Instagram at Buying the Hobby.
TikTok.
I will say our TikTok numbers are going up recently.
Better.
People hate us. People hate me.
Yep.
But we are up a lot of followers. I remember like 3 weeks ago we were like 12. I think we're pushing like
400 or
400.
500, yeah.
Push 400 or 500. Hey, it's a slow grind.
Slow grind, baby.
You can't make it to
Joe Rogan, we're coming
7,000.
for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, that'll do it here on Buying the Hobby, and we'll see you next week.
We move.